America first.
Eine Arbeit
And the Nazis.
Nazi.
Nazi leader.
für Richtiges.
National.
Because something has happened in Europe. That thing that's happened is nationalism. So think about what nationalism is. People didn't used to believe in nationalism. Nationalism is a new phenomenon. It's 230 years old. So before 230 years ago, there were no nationalists on the planet. The guy who pioneers nationalism, I don't know if you can say he invented it, but certainly he's the guy who used it at in a way that transformed it and made it something that other people saw, was Napoleon Bonaparte. So Napoleon Bonaparte was made the dictator of the Republic of France for the sole purpose of ending the French Revolution. Because the French Revolution was this magic event that they couldn't turn off. So even after they won, they'd killed all the royalty, they'd killed all the nobility. Even after they had changed their art, changed the dates of the names of the months, changed over to metric, changed their religion because they had banned the Catholic Church. Even after they had done all of this, they couldn't turn the revolution off. And the French revolutionary leaders kept walking out into the public squares in Paris and going, look, you've won, we've done it. The revolution's over, go back into the factories, go back into the farms, and start making shoes and growing food so that our economy doesn't collapse. And the French people would go, revolution! And they'd go charging around and they'd guillotine somebody and set something on fire. And the French revolutionary leaders are like, no, it's over, we won. You don't have to do that anymore. And the French people are like, revolution! And they'd grab that guy, guillotine him, and set something on fire, and they're tearing their hair out. Finally, the French came up with a genius idea. Beautiful. The French have their moments. You know what I mean? Like, there are these moments. What if we guillotined the guy in charge of the guillotining? Robespierre. Like, I swear, I really just wish they had cell phones back there so that we could have recorded the look on Robespierre's face as they're loading him into the guillotine. Because I want to know what that emotion you're feeling. Dude, I'm the guy who guillotines. Why am I getting guillotined? How is this okay? And they're loading him in, and then he can hear the blade coming down, right? It just takes a split second, but still he can hear it. And the next thing you know, his head's in a basket. And then the French revolutionary leadership goes, see, the revolution's over. We just guillotined Robespierre, it's done, we're good. And the French are like, revolution! And they go guillotine somebody else and set something else on fire. So Napoleon is elected dictator, temporarily suspending the republic. He'll rule like a king for 1 year. His goal is to end the revolution. He fails. He comes back to the revolutionary leadership and he goes, I need a second year. I figured out how to do it. They're like, okay, sure. So they give him a second year. By the way, that's a big mistake. Don't ever do that. If you're ever in a situation where a dictator is asking for a second 1 year term, say no. Be polite about it. Guillotine him. Whatever it takes. Don't let him do it. Anyway, they let him do it. Here's what Napoleon does. He gets up in front of French people, and I'm oversimplifying and I'm summarizing, but right, this is essentially what he does. He says, do you know why we just had the most amazing revolution in human history? And it was an amazing revolution. There's no two ways about it. They changed the way they did art. They switched to metric. First country on earth to do it. He says, that revolution was possible because you are French. Because you are French, you are of superior human stock than anybody else on the planet. In other words, that revolution was only possible for the French. Which is really sad if you're Polish, or German, or Spanish, or Egyptian, or Turkish, or English, because you'll never be able to have a revolution like this. So it's our duty as superior French people to export our revolution. All of a sudden, all that revolutionary fervor that they couldn't stamp out forms into armies And the next thing you know, they're invading Italy, they're invading Germany, they're attacking Austria, they're attacking Prussia, they're invading and conquering Spain, they're invading Egypt. They go on a 17-year-long rampage. And at one point, Napoleon, 1812, owned everything from Madrid to Moscow, including Madrid and Moscow. How? The power of nationalism. The power of telling somebody they were superior to everybody else. He had awakened this monster that was there all along, because nations had existed for thousands of years. It wasn't like he invented nations. He just framed it in such a way that all of a sudden he filled his soldiers with this fanatical desire to slaughter. Up until then, people just wanted to kill because you worship the wrong imaginary friend, right? Now all of a sudden, they want to kill you because, well, you're not French. That army, that French army, went through Germany back and forth and back and forth. And sometimes it was retreating, sometimes it was coming back with a glorious victory, but those Germans felt like they were trampled. They felt like they were just run over by the French army over and over and over again. And it planted the seed of nationalism. The Germans began to think in the same way that the French were thinking, which was, I am superior to everybody else because I am German. That's the toxicness of nationalism. If you believe you're superior, that means then literally everybody else is inferior. There is no form of nationalism that doesn't dehumanize the other. It doesn't exist. Like you're like, no, I'm a nationalist and I don't do that. That's BS. If you're a nationalist, you think everybody else on the planet is subhuman. And the only group that you think is fully human is your group. It's different from patriotism. If I say I'm a patriot, it means I love my country. I can love my country and not hate your country. I can love my country and enjoy its culture and its traditions and its blue bonnets or whatever national flower it is, right? And not want to go to your country and murder all of you. But if you're a nationalist, you should go to that country and murder them. They're subhuman. You're making the human species better by killing them. See? And like hell, you're going to let your daughter or your son mate with those subhuman creatures. And what if that happens? Oh, how will you ever overcome that, having these little half-breed freaks running around? That's the problem with nationalism. But it's the seed Napoleon planted.